Coming up on Channel 8 News, how the city ensures public services remain accessible during inclement weather. Plus, we'll break down K-State's updated master plan. And later, look at how NIL partnerships impact both athletes and the community.
Looking at our live weather, our current temperature in Manhattan, it's below zero temperatures today, but that sun is helping us out a little bit. The feels like is at zero, not a lot of wind, so if you want to get outside, just make sure you have a coat. Make sure you got your gloves, and that's all for weather for now. We'll have more later.
This is KKSU LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Nate Lowen. Coming up, we'll look at the rising flu cases on campus and what doctors at Lafayette are doing to help. Plus, with recent construction woes on campus, students have been forced to navigate around blocked roads. We'll see what they think. But first, with all this wild weather, what is the city of Manhattan doing to help out those in the cold?
The winter weather is doubling down, and so is Be Able. Be Able is a community organization that has recently broken through the Manhattan housing market in order to provide warm, safe housing for those in need.
We can create a program to where it would allow people to kind of lose that stress factor and just build off of it until they're able to get their own. And we can also provide the rental history that most people don't have. So basically be a huge stress reliever. That's the idea. And then we could work with them to kind of help them gain momentum to get their own property at some point, get their own place to stay at some point. You don't want to be out here in the cold. I think our weather was like 11 below or something like that. Can you imagine a person being outdoors during that time frame? So we're going to try to provide some kind of reassurance for individuals that are stuck in that gap.
I started out here not knowing what Be Able was. I'd been in my car for a couple months and then found out about it, and now it's turned into like a home away from home. I try to help people, every day, find resources for food or clothing, or maybe they don't have an ID or a social security card or a birth certificate, whatever it may be. There's housing resources, there's all kinds of different places around here for people. There's an undeniable presence of like generosity and kindness here, and like pay it forwardness, and that's something that I want to be involved in and I want to help grow.
In Manhattan, Lauren Betts, Channel 8 News.
For more information, you can contact Be Able at www.beablecommunity.com. Flu season is in full swing at K-State, with Dr. Michael Campbell saying it's one of the worst in 20 to 25 years due to high weekly cases. Influenza cases are going up, having a total of 77 positives in last week. Medical staff at Lafayette warns those experiencing these symptoms need to address them within 48 hours, or else they may be at risk of longer-lasting illness.
So we've just seen the numbers go up and up and up over the last month. And so we're probably in the middle of the thick of flu season right now, about as bad as we'd expect it to get.
We can give Tamiflu, which is an antiviral medication that brings down the overall viral load, meaning your symptoms may be less severe, you may get better a little bit faster, but it has to be given within the first 48 hours.
Last year, K-State was awarded $50 million over the next 5 years to fund agriculture research. The current administration moved to shut down federal funding that supports K-State student research programs. After a brief shutdown earlier this year, funding is coming now. Students and labs express what it could mean for the research they do if it becomes long-term serious.
Kanza is a very highly researched area of grassland that a lot of different studies around the world base stuff off of.
I was upset when the lab was shut down because I was like, all right, this was like the first step into trying to get into what I really need to do to help me in the future. If it ever did happen again, that I still have the job, I just have to wait for the funding to be there.
The K-State's master plan has been in motion for almost a year now. And after their preliminary hearing last Tuesday, they have set course for finalization of the document of the plans. The plans will serve as guidelines for the development of the facilities, walkways, and available space on campus. With the short-term and long-term aspirations, the goal is to keep the campus as up-to-date as possible while providing the best campus for student life.
There is a campus master plan going on right now. which is identifying across campus where new buildings should go, what buildings maybe should be demolished because they're not worth renovating, what sort of type of outdoor spaces do we want.
As a part of the 11th phase of the North Campus Corridor Plan, extend road closures on Denison Avenue have begun with construction, taking place from the NBAF entrance between Kerr and Jardine Drive. Avery Johnson has more on the story.
With the construction currently taking place on Denison Avenue, parking lots and routes to the K-State Rec Center and Vet Med have been impacted. K-State student Zach Schwarzenberger goes to the rec daily, and he says the parking lot has been a pain at times to navigate.
It's a further drive for me now, and then I'm constantly having to circle the parking lot, make sure that there's spots open. If there's not, then I keep spinning around, and then yeah, it's just kind of been a pain navigating through it all.
As phases progress in the North Campus Corridor Plan, the current construction continues to have an impact on the area. Ken Hayes, engineering project coordinator for the City of Manhattan, says the city has been working with many departments across K-State to make sure everyone stays informed.
Of the whole project, we've had weekly meetings with not only K-State proper, but K-State Vet Med, the rec department, the foundation up there, because we've obviously affected them, and more in previous projects, but in this one also athletics. So we've had weekly meetings with them to discuss what's going to be happening, what impacts there's going to be, how can we minimize the impacts if possible.
Although the city has made efforts to minimize disruptions, the busy parking lot and the construction have forced students like Schwarzenberger to adjust their schedule when visiting the rec.
Yeah, I've had to cut a few workouts short actually, just to get on class on time due to how busy this place has been lately. So construction's been a little more frustrating than I thought.
The current goal is to have Denison reopened by mid-April, but the construction may not be completed until the upcoming fall months. From Manhattan, Avery Johnson, Channel 8 News.
Until Denison Avenue reopens this upcoming April, the city advises those navigating the area to continue to be safe, slow, and patient around the construction. As students begin their spring semester grind, finding good study spots on the K-State campus can be tough for some. Channel 8 reporter Hannah Whetstone has more on the story.
Ibrahim Chifji is a junior studying medical biochemistry. Studying over 25 hours each week, he struggles to find accessible spaces on campus.
I was on campus on Saturday, and I quite literally walked all four corners, and I couldn't find a place to study because the buildings were locked and the library closed at 5.
Hope Winton, a microbiology student, faces similar problems when finding study spaces.
On the weekdays, I'm always at Hale just because it's closest to my classes, so it's convenient. On the weekends, I'm normally at the Eng because they're actually open.
Our department doesn't really have like a designated student study space, so we're kind of on our own, and we kind of have to find our own spot, and I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Kansas State Student Body President Paige Volgamore says she began her term with an initiative to increase accessibility of study spaces on campus.
So there's a lot that goes into it, and so we've had lots of meetings with library staff and just administrators that want to help us see this project out. We really need to try to be more accessible to students that operate on all different hours.
I think library hours is one way, but I think keeping buildings open and, I find myself going to classrooms, but maybe having designated study rooms and study desks just located around campus and buildings and that are open 24/7, have access to Wi-Fi technology, I think would be very helpful.
While not all departments and buildings on campus face this issue, both students and leaders believe in equitable study environments for all students. However, budgetarily, it may be hard to come by. In Manhattan, Hannah Whetstone, MHK All Day.
Students have also said Hale Library's hours can be confusing because operating hours change each day of the week. Don't go far. Coming up, we look at name, image, and likeness deals that continue to shape college sports, and K-State is no exception. And up next, a local business general manager joins us in studio to discuss how NIL is impacting Wildcat athletes and see how K-State's basketball success ties into it all.
This is a special place, Manhappiness.
This is a phenomenal institution, a phenomenal athletic program with a proud tradition.
They talk about family, and you can feel how genuine it is.
The community here is so strong. It's truly like the best in the world.
No matter where you come from, the color of your skin, or your religious background, together we make a family.
And when you love people, it's amazing what you can accomplish.
To the 5, to the goal line, touchdown! Touchdown! Kansas inside for the 10. Sheldon is roofed by Carter. Gregory step back three. Takes the shot from distance and scores! Stank! It is gone! It's a
Great weekend we had, homecoming, great crowd. The crowd was phenomenal.
It's a great day to be a Wildcat.
Kansas State athletes aren't just making plays on the field, they're also driving in style. Long MacArthur Ford has been at the forefront of NAI deals, partnering with Wildcats to bring back to the program. The dealership's NIL journey began with former quarterback Skylar Thompson and has since expanded to stars like Avery Johnson and even coach Jerome Tang. But it's not all just about cars. Long MacArthur sees these deals as a way to build up student athletes.
And we love investing in those kids and their branding and the things that they have going on in their life and working with them to be creative and grow their social media following as well. So he had contacted us that his lease was going to be up, and we jumped on the opportunity, obviously. What an incredible man. He's an incredible person. The things that he's done for K-State and that basketball program, I think, are monumental.
Wildcat NIL has provided K-State athletes with many opportunities to grow their platform. Camden Tackenhorst joins us with another business that is a part of Wildcat NIL. Camden?
Thanks, Nate. Wildcat NIL has partnered with many local businesses around the Manhattan area, Booth Street Wagyu being one of them. Today, I am pleased to be joined by Tyler Dryling, the general manager at Booth Street. Tyler, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It's fun to be talking about this topic.
Yep. So first, just tell me a little more about your company and how it got started.
Yeah, we got started back in 2020, and we raise authentic Japanese Wagyu beef. It's a very special breed of cattle that produces just exquisite marbling, which is what steak is known for. That's what gives beef its flavor and its tenderness. So it's a delicacy worldwide, and being able to produce it right here in the Flint Hills is a really fun undertaking that we've been working on for about 4 years now.
Awesome. So what is this process like, getting in touch with these K-State student athletes, wanting to be partners with them?
Yeah, it's it makes a lot of sense for us. We're lifelong K-Staters, born and raised here in Manhattan, and for us, what we wanted to do was create opportunities, not just to hand out cash to athletes, with nothing else being a part of it. We enjoy developing the relationships with them between us and then also between the athletes and the fans. So we've created some pretty cool opportunities for fans to get to know these athletes, and then of course you don't have to ask an offensive lineman twice if they want some steak. So that's it makes all the sense in the world for us.
Yeah. So I've seen several posts on Edge from the likes of Avery Johnson, Cooper Beebe, and other K-State linemen. What would you say is the most rewarding part of engaging with these student athletes?
Just being able to have some access to them. I think that as fans, we tend to just see numbers on jerseys running up and down the field or up and down the court, and getting to know these people as individuals, and then and that continues a lot of times beyond their time at K-State. They become customers of ours, or they have friends and family that are customers of ours, and it started with us wanting to give them a better experience at K-State, and so yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Well, Tyler, thank you a lot for joining with me. Nate, back to you.
The weather is up next. Freezing temperatures are settling in, but how long will they last? Plus, a look at snow cleanup efforts across Manhattan and when temperatures will start to warm up heading into next week. That's next.
As college athletics continues to change, one thing has stayed the same:
the loyalty and support of our K-State family.
But now, there's a new way you can show your support.
You can now help student athletes like me get compensated for our name, image, and likeness.
Whether it is contributing to our official NIL collectives
or requesting autographs and more through the Open Doors Marketplace.
You are helping K-State student athletes succeed by connecting with you.
So what are you waiting for?
Come transform the K-State student athlete brand today.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together, we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family who empowers family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
Manhattan, Kansas has been hit with 25 inches of snow in 2025, the most since 2019. With all that snowfall clearing, the parking lots has been no small task. One company has been at the trenches of the cleanup. Cade McIlvain has been removing snow across Manhattan for the past 3 years. With Garrett Company, gives a closer look at their work.
I think we started on the first day at like 4 a.m. Then we went to midnight, went back to our houses for a couple hours, got a couple hours sleep, and then we were back at it at 4 a.m. on the next day until midnight, and then the final day we were out from about 7 a.m. to midnight again.
Will snowstorms continue to impact the area, or will temperatures begin to warm up? Toby Hamas joins us from our Weather Center with the latest. Toby?
Thanks, Nate. Snowstorms across the Midwest have sent freezing temperatures in the area. I hope you had a coat this morning, and I hope your car started because it is chilly out there. Taking a look at New York for our national temperatures, that area, our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., they got a little bit of snowstorms today, looking at 28 over there. Head a little more south towards Atlanta, still chilly down there, above freezing, but it's at 36. Down here in Texas, Arlington, that's where the Batcats are going to be this weekend. They've got a tournament down there with some tough competition, but at least they'll be indoors because it is chilly down there too. It does start to warm up when you look over at Phoenix in the Arizona area. Cools off as you head a little more north towards Idaho and San Francisco, those areas, but it's still not too bad compared to what we got here in Kansas. So we'll take a closer look at that. We'll take a look at the Kansas counties. In the Johnson County area, let's start there towards Kansas City. There's cold temperatures across the state, obviously, but 13 in Johnson County, and then you look down towards the Wichita area, Sedgwick County, 15. Looking over into western Kansas, 16 warms up, but then it cools right back down as you head north. And now we'll take a look at the snow totals from the area over the past few days. Last 72-hour snow totals. That Johnson County area didn't get as much as the rest of the state, 3 to 4 inches. Riley County about on average with what you see across the state. Sedgwick County got the most of those big counties and got 6 to 7. Looking at our 24-hour agenda, partly cloudy for the high of 13, but it was really chilly this morning. When the sun went up, it was -8, below freezing temps, and cloudy. We'll take a look at the 5-day forecast. A high of 13 today, high of 23 on Friday. We'll have more weekend weather later, but just a quick look at it. 42 for the high on Saturday, 55 on Sunday, and 53 on Sunday, and 61 on Monday. That's all for weather. Back to you, Nate.
Next up in sports, we'll hear from Coach Jerome Tang and Doug McDaniel as they react to K-State's men's basketball tough loss. Plus, a closer look into Women in Sports Clinic and its impact on young athletes coming up.
As college athletics continues to change, one thing has stayed the same:
the loyalty and support of our K-State family.
But now, there's a new way you can show your support.
You can now help student athletes like me get compensated for our name, image, and likeness.
Whether it is contributing to our official NIL collectives
or requesting autographs and more through the Open Doors Marketplace.
You are helping K-State student athletes succeed by connecting with you.
So what are you waiting for?
Come transform the K-State student athlete brand today.
Jones unloads a bases clearing triple. 2-2, Colts strike three in the outside corner. Another strikeout for Buss on a high fastball. K-State has done it again. Got him swinging. K-State wins the series.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State, so it's like, you know, a win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
Let's dive into the latest in sports, starting with a men's basketball update, key insights on bubble teams with the NCAA, and look back at the week's latest celebration of women in sports. Meredith joins us from our Sports Center with the latest.
Thanks, Nate. K-State men's basketball put up a strong effort against BYU this past weekend, showing glimpses of their potential, but coming up short in a tough matchup. As they continue to fight through a challenging season, showing flashes of their potential despite a tough loss, head coach Jerome Tang and Doug McDaniel emphasized the team's resilience during the post-game conference.
You know, they can move on real quick, and because you know, whether you're winning or losing, you know, like whatever happens, you got to be able to get rid of that and move on to the next game, and make it a one-game season.
You know, we was on a hot streak and we got humbled, so you know it's time to start it up again. So that's my main mindset. I feel like the guys gonna take this loss very seriously, and you know we're gonna go get the next one.
The situation for NCAA men's basketball bubble teams is ever-changing this time of year. With Selection Sunday approaching on March 16th, many teams are looking for that final push to send them into the tournament. Starting with the teams on the rise, the BYU Cougars have bounced back after a losing streak with 2 impressive wins over K-State and KU, securing them with a bye as of now. Lastly, Manhattan's own K-State pushed its way onto the bubble despite a slow start to the season. The Cats won 6 straight games with 4 quad 1 victories. However, with recent losses to BYU and Utah, their momentum is being questioned, moving the team into the next 4-out category. K-State needs to have a great finish to Big 12 play to be in consideration on Selection Sunday. Amidst the growing popularity of women's college sports, K-State Athletics is setting the next generation of female athletes up for success.
Young girls gathered in the ICE training facility Saturday to learn the basics about basketball. Hosted by K-State women's athletes and staff, the 7th annual National Girls and Women in Sports Day Clinic featured free admission to the women's basketball game that night.
So today is National Women in Sports Day, and every year we host a clinic for kids. I think this year we have like 300 kids, so we have a really good turnout. Today we just put them through some of their favorite things to do, like knockout with basketball, and then just other stuff around like the football field.
Parents of attendees, like Emily Wilson, said their daughters learned valuable skills at the clinic and they look forward to it every year, as this is the 7th year straight K-State has hosted the event.
Both of our girls play basketball, softball, volleyball, and this is actually the 3rd time that we've attended this event. They really enjoy it, so we love coming back for it every year.
The goal of the clinic was to introduce girls to the world of sports and give them the confidence to play on competitive fields later on in life.
I just think it's important for the athletes to know that they are role models. I think sometimes maybe they don't understand how valuable they are to the youth and how amazing it is for the girls to see that there is options and opportunities for them after high school.
K-State women's basketball will face rival KU in Bramlage this Saturday, February 22nd at 4 p.m. That's all the time we have for sports. Nate, back to you.
Coming up, one last look at the weekend weather. Will we see another round of snowstorms, or will the temperatures begin to rise? That's next.
In a time of evolution, it is our time to elevate and carve our place atop in a new era. An era where championship expectations collide with championship support. We all must come together, fighting, ever fighting for the purple and the white. Times may change, but generation after generation, the support of K-Staters never wavers. K-State fans, are you ready to be a part of powering K-State athletic excellence in a new era?
This is a special place, man. Happiness.
This is a phenomenal institution, a phenomenal athletic program with a proud tradition.
They talk about family, and you can feel how genuine it is.
The community here is so strong. It's truly like the best in the world.
No matter where you come from, the color of your skin, or your religious background, together we make a family.
And when you love people, it's amazing what you can accomplish.
As college athletics continues to change, one thing has stayed the same.
The loyalty and support of our K-State family.
But now, there's a new way you can show your support.
You can now help student athletes like me get compensated for our name, image, and likeness.
Whether it is contributing to our official NIL collectives
or requesting autographs and more through the Open Doors Marketplace.
You are helping K-State student athletes succeed by connecting with you.
So what are you waiting for?
Come transform the K-State student athlete brand today.
One last look at our weekend forecast here. The dog days of winter might be over soon, Manhattan. You got a high of 23 on Friday, but then it really starts to warm up this weekend. Sun's gonna come out. It's gonna be 42 on Saturday and 53 on Sunday for your high. And hopefully you can shed off some of those layers that you've had this past week. We were on, with this winter storm we had recently, the snow and all the ice everywhere. You had to have your coats on, you had to have your mittens, you had to have your stocking caps. That's all for weather. We'll send it back to Nate.
That's all the time we have for today's show. We'll see you back here next week with more news and the latest updates from the Manhattan area. From everyone at Channel 8 News, have a great day.
This is Channel 8 News.